Okay, so we're going to do a walkthrough of assignment 2, or I'm going to do a walkthrough and you're going to watch and listen. So assignment 2, you're going to want to read through it before you start, and in particular there are rules about the content you're going to use. Some of the rules are very important regarding copyright of images. You're going to have to find one particular image that you need to make extra sure that it's legal for you to use. And you're going to find a recipe from a particular site and just follow all the instructions and you will be fine. It's longer than assignment 1. You can expect that, but it's still pretty easy. The main things we're going to deal with in this assignment that are new are links and lists. So in my text editor, I started out with a text file, and I'm going to just talk briefly about I have taken out any weird things that I wouldn't need, like footnotes or advertising lines, or there was a line at the top about changing it to multiple servings. I have ingredients, and then I have a list of ingredients. I have directions, and then I have a list of directions. I have the name of my recipe at the top. This is an unusual one. You might not have heard of it. And at the bottom, I have saved all my links from everything I need. Now I have 2 links for my recipe. I'll talk about that later. One is really long. The other one works. It goes to exactly the same page, but it's much shorter. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And then a link to my first image, which is a map of the country the recipe comes from, and my other image, which is an image of the dish itself. So this is my plain text file. You'll see I have already put in the structure tags for my HTML because I think you know how to do that by now. But I'm going to walk through putting in the content tags, such as the H's and the P's, and the new things, the lists and the links. So I'm going to get started with that right away. I'm going to close recipe.txt because I don't need that. I'm going to show you my folder. I have gone into my web apps homework folder where all my homework will always be. I made a folder named assignment 2 because I am really organized and you should be too. I have my recipe HTML, and I have, this is new, a folder named images with a lowercase I, not a capital I, a lowercase I, and in that folder are my 2 images. The map still has the same name as the original file name, but the photo of the food, I gave it a new file name so I could remember where it came from. So in my text editor right now, I am looking at my recipe, and it's got structural HTML heads at the top, and at the bottom, body HTML, the closing tags you always have at the bottom. So let's go in and do the things we already know really fast, okay? So the name of the recipe, first thing in the body, and it's going to be an H1, right? Because it is the biggest and most important headline on the page. It's the main heading, so it has to be an H1. Ingredients. Are there any other headings on the page? Directions, that's probably a heading, and no other headings. So these should both be the same. They're equally important. Ingredients, H2, close the tag /H2, and directions, H2, and close the tag /H2. All right, makes 4 servings. What is that? It's not part of a list. Must be a P, a paragraph. And you know what? I'm going to do something a little bit fancy there. I'm going to say, let's make this emphasized. Let's make it look different from the other things. This is a tag that Robin's told you about, M, and then /M. Notice how I nested the 2 M tags inside the P tags. Don't go flapping them inside and outside each other. The M is nested inside the P. Let's see, so this is going to be a list, the ingredients, and the directions are going to be another list, and I'll deal with the links at the end after everything else. So let's go straight to the lists. Let's first save, And let's open it in my browser. So I'll go to my HTML, I double click it and it opens, and this is what it looks like right now. So my lists do not look like lists yet. And my URLs, I will just leave them hanging around at the bottom until I'm ready to put my images in. So list number 1, these are the ingredients. So, let's look at the instructions, because the instructions actually tell me what kind of list to use for the ingredients. All right, in the list of information about what we need to have, at least 5 ingredients. Ooh, do I have at least 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, yay. Okay, ingredients must be in an unordered list. That's a particular kind of list described in the chapter. So unordered. If you read the chapter, you already know that. Let's close the list so we don't forget. At the bottom of the list, /UL. So these have to match, right? If it starts with UL, it has to end with /UL. And then what about each ingredient in the list? Each ingredient is going to be enclosed in an LI pair of tags. It's an LI element, and it stands for list item. And they're all going to look like that. So, of course, to be efficient, I can copy that, and I can paste that at the beginning of each line. So I'm going to do this with Command V as in Velcro. Paste, 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 paste. And the same with /li at the end. I'm going to copy it, Command C for copy, and Command V, or if you're on Windows, Control V, right? So paste, 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 paste. All right, let's save, reload, make sure I didn't mess it up. All this saving and reloading, I really do this. It just saves you heartache and misery later. Now, the bullets, Robbins mentions that you can take those off. Don't worry about doing that yet. We will do that a lot later, but the bullets, just leave them there, they're fine. Directions, we need what kind of list for our directions? What do our instructions tell us? All directions must be in an ordered list. That is a different kind of list, also discussed by Robbins. So let's see. Ordered list is an OL for ordered list. So, oops, boop, boop, boop. That's the beginning of my ordered list. Where do my instructions end? This is a bunch of URLs. That's not my list. Here we go. OL. Okay, so my whole list, all the things are enclosed between OL tags, and the items themselves are going to have exactly the same tags, an LI at the front and a /LI at the end. I'm going to copy and paste and paste and copy and paste, paste, save, reload. Oops, not that one. Oh, silly me. Reload. All right, so I've got 3 directions. Now, I know this is all wide and weird looking. I mean, if it were on a phone, it would kind of look better, right? It would, but we're not going to worry about style this week. Next week we will start making stuff look beautiful. So this is the easy part. You have made 2 lists. One is unordered, one is ordered. Now we have to deal with the links.